well, I had a teammate, kind of sleepy teammate, come, and a customer also come, and then a potential customer. And so we had a really good time. I was supposed to have two others, but one was sick with the flu and the other one had a son with a fever of 103. And I'm just thinking, oh Lord, do you need this? But either way, it went pretty smoothly. I think one of my biggest takeaways would be, so we made 5 salads each, and we needed more than the 2 cups per person for each ingredient. We ran out of, tomatoes, cucumbers. Thankfully I took Susie's advice and had the ladies make their salads first, and then I was able to just kind of throw in what was left over into my own salads, and I was able to make 2, but it's always better to have more than you think you need. So I would say if you're going to host your own, I would say 3 cups of ingredients that you want each of your friends to bring, or whatever. 3 cups of each ingredient. Yeah. I started out, it was really informal. It wasn't like a wine and wellness, but I had goodie bags. I had their jars that I actually ended up buying in little bags, well, big bags, shopping bags, with Juice Plus gummies and shakes. I had how to build the mason jar for salads, and I had in a complete shake recipe. For food, I had veggies and hummus, and I had made some complete balls, and that was about it. And everybody had a really good time. We were there, here, for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it really took the full time, and that was only with 4 of us. So maybe we were jibber jabbering too much, but it was good time. And one of my girlfriends said, "Hey, can we do this every week?" I was like, yes, let's do this every week, because it was fun. And I thought, there were 4 of us there. If each one of us took a week and alleviated some of the, not the stress, but anytime you're trying to plan an event, it's always something. But we had a lot of fun, and I will definitely be doing another one. I already have my other one scheduled for next month on the 22nd.
Invite them, Les?
I did, of course. Yep. One's going to be away, but the other 2 are definitely coming.
Awesome. Good job.
Yeah, and I said, invite your friends, invite anybody that you think that would enjoy this to come.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good job, Les. Okay, Jason, we are poised and ready for you.
Okay. Hi, ladies.
Danny's on.
Hello, Danny. How are you? Good. Good to see some males on here. Listen, I'm going to keep
it is.
Thank you. I'm going to keep the microphones open. I want to encourage everybody to chime in when you can. I'm going to be talking about a book called Why They Buy, and it's personality science of why people buy, and it was written by a woman named Sherry Tree. Really intriguing. And basically what she does is she breaks down the different personality types and how and why they buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, because I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this, and see if you can decipher my personality trait. So anyway, so I'm 59. I've been doing hair since 1980. My first hairdressing job was in downtown Hartford, and then I moved to New York City. I got a job with an international company out of London. I went to London for 9 months to train. I came back to the city, worked in the Empire State Building for a little bit, and then I got an itch to follow my heart a little bit. So I'd always been into spirituality and Native American spirituality. So I had met somebody, and they told me to follow my heart. So I moved out to Arizona, and I met a full-blood medicine woman who agreed to teach me some medicinal ways. So I worked with her for 9 years, and I built many sweat lodges and taken many sweats. And I went up on, I did a vision quest where I fasted for 2 days and 2 nights, completely nude in the middle of the desert. And I even, I did some, what was called the sun, the Sundance, where I gave 4 pieces of my skin to be put on a prayer tree. So I followed a feeling that I had much wanted to know a little bit more about my spirituality. And that was around harmonic convergence back in 1988. So then I moved back to New York. I met somebody, I got married, have 2 kids now. My son's 26. He's going to school for engineering. He already got 1 engineering degree. Now he's going for another one down in Texas. And my daughter's living in Honolulu right now, getting her architecture degree. And that's pretty much it. And had a family, divorced. Now I live in beautiful downtown Deep River. Now you know my life a little bit. But faith and following my heart has always been a big thing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this why they buy bank code thing. And Maura actually is going to display some of the cards. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about what this bank code means. Did anybody read the book at all? Anybody?
I did, Jason.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Maura. Well, bank stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurture, and Knowledge. Now, it's personality science. And what we're going to try to do is crack the personality codes to achieve record sales and real wealth. It basically is the science of selling. The ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. If you cannot sell, then don't bother thinking about becoming a business owner. It just isn't reality. There's a saying, it's an advice saying in this book. It says, stop taking advice from people more messed up than you. All right, so it's a good thing to remember, because often we listen to people sometimes, and we kind of have to inform ourselves a little bit more about the science a little bit, and it's hard for some of us, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it's not you that's broken, it's the system. We're basically all in sales, and the new ethic is, in order to get more yeses, you have to get more yeses. It used to be you have to get more no's. It's not anymore. You have to get more yeses to get more yeses. It just is what it is. The new reality is everyone's in sales. So from the second you get up to when you go to bed, you're basically selling something. That's really the reality. 1 in 9 people actually work in sales, and all business is people business. Sales is not a numbers game, it's a people game. All right, so this is basically the beginning of the personality science study. It's not new in history. Personality science is something that's been around a long time. Hippocrates, who was the father of ancient science and medicine, he's the one who said, let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food. He basically came up with the idea of the 4 temperaments, and I could say them in Greek, but my Greek is not what it used to be. I can't speak it as well as Hippocrates could. But the 4 temperaments were described as part of the ancient medical concept that 4 bodily fluids affected human personality traits and behaviors. And those 4 bodily fluids were red, being blood, and that kind of stood for an optimistic person. Yellow meaning urine, which was a short-tempered or irritable person. Blue or black, which meant bile, which was analytical or quiet person. Green, which stood for your phlegm, was a relaxed and peaceful person. So Hippocrates kind of hit on these types of people with these types of medical issues often have this type of behavior. So for centuries, no one questioned the 4 temperaments. So physicians and philosophers and psychologists all contributed to understanding these 4 temperaments. Eventually, measures and personality traits were developed. Carl Jung did the Big 5. Tests like DISC and Myers-Briggs started to be used. 16 personality traits, factor assessments were being developed. And then we move into fast forward to today. Many personality tests can reveal endless types of personalities. For instance, based on animals, sea creatures, astrology, signs, jewels, Chinese elements, colors, and even types of love, my personal favorite. You name it. So personality traits have been developed, and today we're seeing even more and more. Interesting fact that 80% of Fortune 500 companies use some sort of personality assessment to hire, to train, for team development, and also for future success candidates. So it's been proven for centuries that people have different personalities, and that people are different. So could that mean they buy differently? Question mark. And does that influence buying behavior? Question mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this this concept, which stands for BANK, okay, which stands for blueprint, action, nurture, and knowledge. And these are the 4 types of people. Okay. So Maura, can you put the cards up on the screen? Anybody got any questions so far? No? If I'm talking too fast, let me know. Okay. Are you there, Maura? Anybody?
Yes, Jason, I'm here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for being a human voice. All right, so you can see the colors. So we're going to discuss blueprint first. It's in the lower left-hand corner. And a blueprint person is inside the box. The way they like to think is, if you never venture outside the box, you will probably not be creative. But if you never get inside the box, you will certainly be stupid. Blueprint people, their color is blue. They can be cold and firm. So a blueprint personality is somebody that is pretty firm and cold, kind of like the color. When you greet somebody who's a blueprint person, they usually like to stick within their own culture. So if they're used to getting a handshake, you give them a handshake. If they're used to bowing, you give them a bow. Their values tend to be stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility. They like duty. They like rules, credentials, titles, and traditions. They need structure in order to avoid risk. Okay. Blueprint people love the word system because it stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. All right.
Wait, Jason, repeat that. Well, your system means what? Save yourself.
SYSTEM means save yourself time, energy, and money. And that's basically a blueprint person in a nutshell. They love to arrive early. They love processes. They expect you to keep your word, and they adhere to a contract, and they want 100% commitment. All right. Now I'm going to ask you a sentence, and if anybody else can chime in, I want you to finish a sentence for me. All right. Rules are meant to be blank. How would you finish that sentence?
Broken.
Broken.
So okay. So if you said rules are meant to be followed, you are a blueprint person. If you said rules are meant to be broken, you're not a blueprint person. All right. So that's a little interesting fact about blueprint people, because they don't like change, and that's how it's always been done. They have core values. They're conservative. They're formal. They like accountability. They like budgets. They like commitment. They like consistency. They like directions, discipline, discounts, goals, guarantees, lists, loyalties, order, organizing, perfection. They like proven plans. They like routines. They like track records. Okay. Now, hang on one second, guys. I don't know why
Jason, that's in Jason's house, right?
I got a candle going, sorry. Okay, so blueprint people, what they dislike is blame, carelessness. They hate change. They don't like chaos. They don't like clutter. They don't like danger. They don't like debt. They don't like disorder. They don't like exaggeration. They don't like risk, interruptions, or jokes. They don't like missing deadlines. They don't like overspending, surprises, tardiness, or waste.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? So their buying triggers are staying in the budget. They love written details on products. So that's a good selling point if you want to sell Juice Plus people to blueprint people. They like a positive reputation of a company, positive recommendations, and positive service ratings. A good sales tip for a blueprint person is be professional, organized, on time, have a step-by-step plan. Don't be too pushy or exaggerate. That's really important. Have your facts 100% straight. Show the system for success and minimize the risk to get involved. That's good. So that's basically a blueprint person. Does anybody have any questions for that? I know I'm going kind of quick, sorry.
No, you're doing great, Jason.
Okay, no questions on blueprint? Okay, good. So up above blueprint on the screen, you'll see values where it says action. That's a red card. And action people are interesting because they don't think outside the box. They think there's no box at all. Okay, they want to be the best. Failure is never an option. They don't quit. They live their lives like a champion. They have much spontaneity. They like excitement. They like attention. They like winning. They like fun. All kinds of freedom. They make the best. They're best at their own bosses, and they live their lives on their own terms. These are action people. They don't like to be told when to show up or how much to spend. They want full control. They want to captain their own ship. And it's their way or the highway. And they love competition. They love adrenaline, and they love attention. And they love the spotlight being shined on them. All right. So can anybody take a guess on when you greet an action person, how you would greet them? How would you greet them?
Hug.
No, you don't want to hug an action person. You want to high five them or a
High
fist
five
bump.
them.
Oh, high five.
High five them or a fist bump or something animated or loud. All right. All right. So their likes are celebrity endorsements, media, social buzz, reviews in relevant publications. They like gut feelings. They like beauty. They like designer brands. They like expensive cars, fame, and luxuries. They like parties, power, prizes. They like speed, travel, VIP treatments. They like glamour and incentives. What they dislike is boredom, bosses, budgets, curfews, instruction limits, paperwork planning, repetition, routines, rules, saving, tattletales, time clocks, waiting, and unnecessary meetings, and they hate silence. Action people sales tips are be cool, dress to impress, display excitement, skip the small talk, have urgency, don't overload with details, and this is a great one, sell the sizzle. That's what they want. Action people want you to sell them the sizzle. That really resonated with me because I can have a little sizzle when I want to be. It doesn't come out very often, but anyway. So, and don't overload with details. That would be an action person. So some of their buying triggers are celebrity endorsements. So when you want to try to sell them something, you want to mention famous people, social buzzes, automated recommendations. They like automated recommendations. That's really interesting to me. And they like reviews in relevant publications, and they always go with their gut. So that would be action people.
What does that mean, automated?
Automated, I was going to say the same thing. I don't have a clue.
Automated recommendations, I would say something that's repeated over and over again when you call up the company. I don't know. Automate, that's what all the book said. So we can all look it up, I guess.
Well, and I would add to that, like, even, you know, if you buy something, it usually tells you other things that you would like. So that's what I would think that would mean.
Yeah,
Oh,
possibly.
Oh,
Possibly.
that makes sense.
so if they go into Juice Plus, you then automatically talk to them about the omegas and
Right.
you
So,
know, the whole
you know,
thing.
and use the flash and sell the sizzle with those guys. Anyway. All right. So number 3 is nurturing. That would be the yellow card up towards the top right. Now, nurturing, the personality trait of nurturing is to recycle the box. I don't think outside the box. I think of what I can do with the box. And I don't know, for some reason, I want to use this calm, nurturing voice when I do this. So I'm probably going to do that because it's kind of funny to me. Their color is yellow. It's think of sunshine and warmth and hearts of gold. All right. The key motive of a nurture type is to love and be loved. They want to make a better world, and they truly believe world peace is possible. How do you think you greet somebody who is a nurturer? Maura, you can.
Hug.
Yeah, a hug. And if a hug's a little bit too close, then a handshake with both hands and really direct eye contact. Nurturing people love direct eye contact. Find a way to connect and build a meaningful relationship with a nurture type, and then you will have a customer and friend for life. All right. So their values are relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance. And I starred this one because significance is important, especially in today's world where we talk a lot to social media. The significance means the quality of being worthy of attention. They like teamwork, they like involvement, they like community, they like charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contributions. If a nurturing type doesn't feel like he or she is connected to you and has has any relationship chance, they are slim to none that they will buy anything from you. So you have to really make a connection with them, unless they basically will just put up the wall. People buying from people they like and trust. That's a big one with nurturing people. They want to trust you. They want to like you at the same time. Nurturing people like good causes. They like approval. They like authenticity, charity, children, counseling, diplomacy, empathy, encouragement, eye contact, faith, family, friends, helping, inspiration, intimacy, love, nature, peace, support. What their dislikes are: arguments, being left out, bullies, cold shoulders, deceit, dictators, disagreements, doing the wrong thing, egos, failure, frauds, greed, immorality, lies, loneliness, manipulation, materialism, politics. They hate selling tactics. They don't like tension or unfair treatment. Nurturing buying triggers are knowing the company makes a contribution. So that's a good one for us because the company does. Knowing they are buying the best possible. They love that. They love high quality presentations of the product and of service. And they like excellent written details of goods and services. Sales tips for consulting with a nurturing person is be authentic and genuine. Show you care more about them than the money. Introduce them to the team and get them to connect with others. Talk about the cause you are passionate about and about how to make a difference. Give big hugs and warm greetings and maintain good eye contact. So that's a good sales tip. So that's nurturing. Any questions on that? No? Nobody? All right, for last but not least is knowledge. And that would be the green card. Knowledge means engineering the box. One of the only ways to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. And they use the color green. Think of Microsoft Excel sheets, their logo. Think of computer coding, green technology. Those are all knowledge-based symbols of the color green. The type of person is you need to understand their key motives, values, motivations, likes, dislikes, and behaviors. How do you think you greet somebody who is a knowledge person? Anybody want to go into that one? I'll tell you.
Cross your arms and say hello.
Right. So this is the trickiest one out of all to greet somebody who's a knowledge-based person, because they're not fans of being touchy. A simple head nod or handing them the business card first, then shake their hand. They're very particular about their personal space. Their values are learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research, science, universal truth, expertise, competence, accuracy, the big picture. Each value drives knowledge types, decisions, and buying behaviors. So each value drives knowledge types. A saying is the key motive for a knowledge person type is to be right, and they can never be wrong.
Jeez.
Yeah, right? Intense. Their likes are analysis, charts, graphs, consumer reports, data, documentation, experts, facts, formulas, gadgets, higher education, information, innovation, logics, maps, peer journals, proof, puzzles, research, science fiction, software, strategy, and studies, technologies, and they love wit. Their dislikes are automated recommendations. Okay, so they don't like automated recommendations, whereas the action people like automated recommendations. They dislike blanket statements, celebrations, celebrity endorsements. They don't like chit chat. They don't like drama, emotions, excessive praise. They don't like excitement or ignorance, lack of documentation. They don't like networking, public speaking, recognition, role playing, shortcuts, social media buzz, speculation, stupidity, touching, unsubstantiated evidence. So they like proof. Their buying triggers are staying within the budget. Knowledge people want to stay within the budget. They want to have time to do full diligence on the purchases. They want to have all the information needed to make the smartest decision possible. They want excellence in written details that describe the products or service. And they want to know they're buying the best possible good or services. The sales tips for knowledge people is to be smart, know your information. Have your resources and documentation that you can provide for them to study, so leave stuff with them so they can study it. Be able to debate and defend your product, service, or business, and allow them to do their own research and give them time to think about it. These are the people that have to have time to think about their choices, and stay within the budget. So that's the four values that we have. Is there any questions on any of those types? I went through it really quick. Anybody have any questions on that?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So is this, when you're meeting these people, obviously you don't really have an idea unless you can tell by their personality in a group, right? Who they are or what they might be. But if you're meeting somebody blindly or at a grocery store, I mean, obviously you're going to introduce yourself, but and you're not going to hug a stranger unless you're weird, but that's okay. But how would you go about this? Is this a
Well, there are
second
certain
meeting?
things that you can, there are certain things that there are trigger points that you can tell an action person because they have this stand on the table kind of loud fist bump in nature, whereas a
Right.
nurturer would want to get close to you and look you in the eye. Whereas, so I mean, there are key trigger points in each one of these types of behaviors.
Yeah.
Hippocrates, I mean, did it with bodily fluids. That's how he designated. But I mean, there's been so many personality tests invented. I mean, take your pick of which one. But this one, Why They Buy, was started by her, and she basically says that if you tend to attract your own, and that's something that we all do. We all attract our own. And her explanation is that you can make 3 times as much money if you can learn to identify the other 3 types of person or persons.
Maybe this will help too, Les. You could literally print these cards out and put them on a stiff piece of paper, or buy a set of these cards and you hand them to somebody, right, Jason?
Absolutely. And then what I would do is I did it to Eileen's son today because he's out of college and he's just got a new job. So she was even surprised as the outcome. So what you would say is, I'm going to give you these 4 cards. The first card being the most important and the second being the second most important, all the way to the 4th being the least important. And then they usually will pick out their favorite. And then you could actually use those selling trigger bullet points to make the sale for Juice Plus. I've tried it with a couple of my clients. I'm actually, because people sit down in my chair when I do hair, I have 30 minutes to 45 minutes to not only assess what you like, to either cut all your hair off or just trim you. I have to assess what kind of person you are, what kind of color you want, all within 30 minutes. So I'm exposed to this type of behavior all the time, but this narrows it down to only 4, which is actually pretty brilliant because, I've met some Sybils in my day, which could be, not only one of these 4, but you also could be combination people too. So that's really important to remember too. So you can have 1 or 2 of these combinations, or sometimes 3 or 4 of these combinations. So, but the key ones are going to help you make the sale. And, that's why
Okay.
studying this program is good.
Thank you.
Does that, and to help you at all? I mean,
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Thank you.
So out of these 4, what do you think you are? Let me ask you.
Oh, I know I'm a nurturer.
Okay. Okay. So you attract people who want to nurture. So that's who probably a lot of your sales are. So if you concentrate on the other 3, you're going to boost your sales 3 times as much.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So in other words, a blueprint person, you're not going to go and give them a hug and look at them in the eye.
Right.
You're gonna give them
Handshake.
a business card first and then a handshake.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Good. Thank you.
And you'd be early to the meeting with the blueprint person, right, Jason?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else got any questions or comments? Comments too.
When I first read these, I went to a card that I thought I was, but then I really read them and I really looked at them, and I changed my first choice. And I think it's important you do that because, when Jason was describing them, I knew exactly who I was. So it's important to pay attention. And the book,
Anybody guess what Maura is?
they know. They all know.
Can you
You
guess
were-
what Maura is?
You were action.
I am action.
You are action.
I am action. I completely relate to action.
Does anybody else get that?
But nurturer is a close second.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it
That's what I
depends
have.
on the
You guys-
situations.
Right. Don't
What I
you?
had trouble with, I was debating between nurture and action. But hands down, I'm action. I like excitement. I like competition. I like, spontaneity. I like action. I like excitement.
You like to sell the sizzle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I had a stranger come into my house yesterday and she wanted to know about tower gardens. She was an extremely interesting person, and I should have paid more attention to who she was. She knew everything already. And when she didn't, she said, well, I've never done that, so I don't know that. That's why I'm asking.
So she was a knowledge person. So
Or yeah, maybe. I mean, I said, well, Dick and I have salads this big every day for lunch. So, and she goes, well, I have a salad this big every day for lunch. She wanted to know whether she
So
should.
again, she always would want it to be right. And that's the nature of somebody who's a knowledge person. They can never be wrong.
Right. She was never wrong. And she
So
did
now
not
you
want a
have to
good
use
deal.
those,
She doesn't want a
you have to
big
use those
deal.
triggers and those sales tips to make that sale to that person.
I
So you
talked
got to
about
know
my-
your information. You got to have documentation on you. You got to be able to debate, and you got to allow them to do their own research. Give her documentation so that she can do her own research.
You're right, Jason. I think that's who she was, a knowledge person. Thank you. Yes.
And Nat, don't you have these cards?
You know what? In the middle of her I had this phone call on the way home from golfing. I answered it. She'd already been by my house and saw my backyard tower garden. And I invited her over. She said, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I was in sweating from my gut. I do. I didn't pull it
I
off.
know, but I haven't pulled them out in a while, and I'm glad Jason is doing this training because I'm pulling them out again.
I am too.
Yeah, and just keep them handy with you, and
Yeah,
you don't have to just ask somebody out of the blue. It doesn't have to be a Juice Plus person, but talk to them for a little bit and just say, hey, can you just do me a favor? And even if you think you know the person, you may be surprised. And that's the interesting thing about this.
Right.
Because that person, Annette, sounds, just from the very little you said, sounds like to me a combination of knowledge and blueprint.
Right.
Because it just sounded like she wanted to be organized and she knows what she wants and, more formal, more in the box.
It wasn't nurturing.
No.
She didn't want to know about the discount if she became a distributor. That didn't matter, she said. And she talked a lot. It was fascinating. She was interesting.
Jason, what are you? Can we guess what you are?
Yeah, go ahead, guess.
Knowledge.
You think? I actually,
Not
You have
blueprint.
a
Yeah,
very
that's
Knowledge.
what we say, knowledge.
He's a knowledge nurture.
yeah, definitely. You got it here. I'm a knowledge nurture. So I'm a combo of those two. Yeah.
So what happens what's number 3? Your knowledge, nurture, what's 3?
Blueprint and action is
Blueprint.
definitely me, my last.
Yeah.
Definitely my last.
Last.
Yeah.
Okay. It would be kind of fun for us to go, if we go really fast, everybody can go around the room and say what they are again, in order. First, second, third, fourth. Is that a good way to end it, Jace?
Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
Okay, so Annette, let's go. Wait,
I've done this before.
I know.
And I do connect with most of the nurturing stuff. My past has been blueprint. I have to tell you, I grew up very blueprint in my.
Yeah, you were a math teacher, right?
Yeah, but I do love knowledge. I mean, I may be in Juice Plus because of personal development. I mean, I love personal development. That's
Okay, but let's just go quickly. Give me your.
all right. Let me go. NKBA.
NK.
Wow.
N what? NK what?
BA.
Okay, so that's Annette. Great, thank you. Kathy Betts.
Nurturing, knowledge, blueprint, and action.
Just like Annette. Okay, great, thank you. Ham.
Nurture, knowledge, action, blueprint.
Nurture,
Nurture, action,
action,
knowledge.
blueprint. Okay, great. Thank you. Joanne.
I was nurture, knowledge, blueprint, action, or it could be, depends. The first two are kind of maybe equal, dead equal for me.
Okay, thank you. Susie.
Nurture, action, blueprint, knowledge.
Okay, this is so interesting. Cassie.
Action, nurture, blueprint, knowledge.
Action, nurture, blueprint, knowledge. Okay, that's interesting. Thank
So
you.
just a side note, you can tell who the knowledge people are because they're the ones that read the book.
Yeah, but I read it because I bought the
Well,
card.
yeah, but you know, like an action person may not read the book. And then like Susie and I were saying, a nurturer would want someone to tell them about the book.
Yeah,
Read me the story.
Right.
Donna.
Read me, tell me the story.
yeah, you're right. Donna.
I know I'm first a nurturer and I'm last action. I get kind of muddled between blueprint and knowledge. I think I'm a knowledge. I think I'm nurture, knowledge, blueprint, action.
Okay, that's, I think you're right. Claire.
I would say action and nurturing.
Action,
Yep.
nurture are your first two, and then what are the next two?
Maybe there's one trait out of each one of them. Well, stability, I kind of like that.
So
I
just,
guess blueprint
so they
makes
pick
that-
the knowledge or the blueprint next.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know. Blueprint, I guess, then knowledge. Could they interchangeable?
Yeah, they are. Great, thank you. Sue Lambiers.
I'm action, blueprint, nurture, knowledge. I'm the only one with that.
Wow, you are the only one. Leslie.
Funny. I was listening, everybody has nurture in the beginning. And I'm like, oh my God, that's my third.
Nothing wrong with
Not
it.
good.
I would say, depending on the situation and my mood, nurture, action, knowledge, blueprint.
Okay, Danny, thank you. Wait, Danny.
I think I'm knowledge, action, nurture, blueprint.
That's
And
it.
I don't think blueprint or knowledge are the same at all, to tell you the truth.
Neither do I.
Yeah. I find them almost opposite. To me, a blueprint is kind of
They are
follow
on
in the box.
Thank you. That's very interesting. Cassie, Carrie, are you still on? Is she still on, Joanne? I didn't miss anybody, did I?
Is Carrie on 860? Is that Carrie?
No, that's Danny. Carrie was on before. She's I think she was 831.
Oh, okay.
So, Jason, thank you so much for this. I think it's really interesting. I think we ought to go back to this and have other conversations about it. You did a great job, Jason.
Jason, that was awesome.
And I'm really
Yes, thank you,
glad
Jason. Excellent doing it.
The more we look at it, the better I think it's going to be.
Thank you, Jason.
I would love sometime if anybody has a really good way of engaging someone with the cards to, go through some examples of how they do that. Because
Right. That would be
got to
really
be
great.
kind of natural, or else it could be creepy.
Well,
Right.
and remember, Sharon Hyde got on our team call.
Right.
He did a really good job at introducing that. So
That training was good.
yeah, I'll get that video. I'll get the video out to you via email because it's too long.
Right, but I felt like, Jason, this was so much more detail. Like, I loved the detail you gave in this.
Thank you. Well, you can pull it up on YouTube. She's got 6 or 7 things on YouTube.
Yes, she
related to
does.
this bank code. Yeah, and you can
What do
listen.
you look at? What do you look for on YouTube?
Just type in Sherry Tree bank code, or just type in bank code Sherry Tree. CHERITREE.
But don't, and be careful about that too, because she's she's a money-making machine.
Right.
And Sharon, before you spend a whole lot of money with Sherry Tree, you know, just run it by your sponsor so that we can make sure that you're getting the best deal ever, because Sharon's got other alternatives to where Sherry Tree sends you down from a training standpoint. She offers additional training. And it's not off the record, it's not worth it.
But
Okay.
Jason, you were saying the YouTube things were free?
Yeah, you know, you can basically punch in anything on YouTube and find, I mean, I don't even watch TV anymore. All I do is watch YouTube, because if I find a subject like about Hippocrates, I watch a documentary about Hippocrates. I was just